Check out.
Go ahead, ring out. If you could take
Okay?
6
You're not
feet.
that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that guy.
Okay.
Okay?
Are you?
Absolutely.
You're gonna get arrested for this?
Arrested for doing what?
2017 marked a unique year in gaming, which launched Fortnite Battle Royale. And say what you want about Fortnite, but Fortnite has been revolutionizing in its own way, with making almost $20 billion in revenue since 2017. It's not any wonder why everybody wants to be like Fortnite. And again, everybody wants to hate on Fortnite because it's probably one of the most successful games of all time. It's up there with Minecraft and other games as well that have kind of changed the landscape and how we think of gaming as a whole. But keep this in mind, Fortnite took Epic Games and allowed them to be able to compete with the juggernaut that is Steam on PC. That is a fundamental change in the landscape that I can't really put into words. It's not any wonder why everybody wants a Fortnite live service. And the crazy thing about it is that Fortnite was the one that started the revolution. There were other games like Genshin Impact, Apex, Destiny 2, etc, etc, etc. With each of these games bringing in billions of dollars, it's not any wonder why everybody created an arms race to get the next Fortnite and the next live service game that would create them billions of dollars. Just to give you an example, Fortnite made PlayStation so much money from its in-app purchases on the PlayStation Store that it was able to pay for its R&D for the PS5, which would set PlayStation on an arms race to the next big live service games that they could get their hands off of, and the rest of the industry would also do the same.
What I try to tell you, this country, you gotta make the money first. Then when you get the money, you get the power. Then when you get the power, then you get the woman. That's why you gotta make your own moves.
In 2023, game developers were asked if they would or will be making a live service game, and 95% of them said that they would be or will be in some sort of way making a live service game in the near future. 6% of them also saying that they needed a successful live service game in order to survive or to grow as a whole in the gaming industry. PlayStation CEO would announce that PlayStation would be making 16 live service games by 2024 and would acquire Bungie Games and would also make most of its first-party studios create some sort of live service game. Rockstar Games would also make a push in the live service games as well with GTA Online, and also by this point every quarter Rockstar Games makes almost $1 billion in revenue when it comes to Grand Theft Auto Online, which is insane when you think about it, the amount of money that these companies are making on live service games. But there are also consequences in forcing developers create live service games when they're not used to doing so.
Woo! Ah, that's refreshing. Make sure to ingest some, get that in the bloodstream. Ugh. Ugh. Don't do that. Whew. Okay, who's next? Really? It's not that bad. Check that. Just starting to burn in my eyes a little bit. Did not plan for that.
PlayStation's first-party studios would come out and showcase their displeasure of making live service games, with Naughty Dog leading the charge and saying they really didn't like the idea of being a live service game creator. Making a live service game requires you to be invested in that game for the next 10 years, which really isn't what Naughty Dog and other PlayStation studios do. Naughty Dog is more of a game studio that makes third-person linear story games. Insomniac Games is more of a studio that makes third-person linear heavy story games, and every other developer that I can think of also has that background. While Naughty Dog has made successful multiplayer games. They were more studios that were from the side that they hired in order for them to make those live service games. With The Last of Us multiplayer being revered to this day of being extremely fun, they were going to build on that, but then forced to make it into a live service game. PUBG would also come out to be a problem for PlayStation as a whole, with doing the same mistakes that they usually do with their community and not listening, and creating a giant downfall. Incongruent players playing Destiny 2. Every other game company that you can think of was understanding that making live service games isn't just forcing people to making a live service game, but more building a team that has a track record of making live service games. You see, the success of Fortnite wasn't out of nowhere. While making a live service game requires luck like any other game, they had talent like Cliffy B, they had talent like people who made the Unreal Tournament games. While those people that led those games left, the talent that was left behind was also still there and had a track record of actually fulfilling the game that they were trying to make. Because keep in mind, Fortnite wasn't necessarily a game that was going to be seen as this giant success, but more was built on over time, and also was the right people at the right time making the right game. Forcing people who make games like Spider-Man, The Last of Us, or Infamous, or the Ghost of Tsushima to make live service games isn't the way to go. WB Games is currently not understanding that lesson with their own studio, Rocksteady Games. While I can't say the name of the game on YouTube, I will put it on the screen and saying that squad game is currently only having 5,000 people play it on Steam. And while that game was a complete flop and had some amazing elements to the game when it came to traversal and the shooting mechanics, but kind of came short on everything else, this made WB not rethink its strategy, but double down on a live service game industry that they don't fully understand. With having a game like Hogwarts Legacy being as successful as it was, being the most sold game in 2024, WB instead is going to force that studio to make a live service Harry Potter game, which is the most insane thing on the planet to do. The only thing that we can do now is to learn from these lessons, which PlayStation is doing, cutting their live service games from 12 to 6, and other studios that have been successful doubling down on its online service games, whether we like it or not, like Rockstar doubling down on NBA 2K and kind of making it into a live service game that is, to be real, pay to win, and also GTA Online getting a sequel with its next GTA 6 iteration is more than likely going to double down on that as well. Let's hope that the game industry as a whole learned its lessons, but knowing as the way corporations are, money is the one thing that runs this business, and the only way to do so is to show them by not buying live service games that we understand aren't going to be good. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and remember, if you enjoy this video, make sure you watch another video. It tells the algorithm you want other people to watch the video. I would greatly appreciate it.